Hi, this is Dr. Doug. I am a wellness coach and a fitness trainer. Today I'd like to talk about diabetes, but before I do, I'd like you to subscribe to my channel because it really helps with those algorithms and getting my videos out there to the public. Diabetes, really, it is not a disease, by the way. People make that mistake all the time. I see medical doctors making this mistake. It's not a disease. It's a sign. It's a medical sign, kind of like a symptom. Diabetes means that there's sugar in the blood. It shouldn't be there. There's excess sugar in the blood. And that excess sugar, instead of going into the cells to nourish the cells, comes out through the urine. So the urine also has sugar in it. In the old days, before they did the finger prick and the blood test, the doctors used to taste the urine if they suspected diabetes. And if it was diabetes, it would be sweet. So there are three different types of diabetes, or three different diseases with the same name, diabetes, but with two different official names, diabetes 1 and diabetes 2. We'll talk about all of that, all three of these diseases today. And by the way, when cells don't get nourishment, what happens to them? They starve and they thirst to death. They die. The cells die, the tissues die, the organs die, the patient dies. It's a deadly disease in any way you want to look at it. It's not something that you want to let go. You have to attend to it. Okay? It's a lethal, threatening disease. Diabetes 1, juvenile onset. Now, diabetes 1 always used to be juvenile onset because it used to come out in force. It used to happen strongly in juveniles, young people. That's because it was a genetic and is a genetic abnormality. The pancreas is not functioning properly, and it is thought that that is a genetic injury. It could be inherited. It could be an injury to the genes, because these things happen. They happen in in pregnancy, whatever. They cannot produce insulin. They can't produce enough insulin. Now, it's insulin, the hormone, produced in the pancreas that conducts blood sugar, called glucose, into the cells. If you don't have enough insulin, you can't get enough nutrition into the cells. You can't get enough liquid into the cells, and so the cells start to die. And so these people need insulin. They get insulin shots. And it's very, very important. It saves their lives. Now, I will say that the more they exercise, the less insulin they will need, but they will still need insulin. So exercise, what exercise does is it pumps blood sugar into the cells. Squeezy, 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 like that. That pumping action of contraction, extension of muscles acts as a pump to get blood sugar into the cells. So, but they still need to take insulin. That's juvenile onset. Now, what has become common today, I mean fairly common, is diabetes 1 adult onset. And this usually happens to adults in mid-age, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, who are just kicking it. They are running, and they are highly productive, and everybody gives them applause, and they own a whole bunch of stuff because they're workaholics, and they're constantly running and running. They don't get enough sleep because they don't think sleep is important, all that stuff. And what they do is they hyperactivate their immune system, and their immune system gets so busy, because they're so busy, that the friction inside burns up tissues. It burns up to the immune system, goes after the pancreas and burns it up. And they start getting symptoms of diabetes. Diabetes 1, not enough insulin. They can't get enough insulin. So what do the doctors do? They give them more insulin instead of calming them down, instead of telling them to stop. They give them more insulin. Insulin's very expensive, very good market, very good moneymaker. Yeah, very expensive. And ultimately will kill them because you can't get enough insulin eventually. And what a life. Always getting shots. Wow. Okay, that's diabetes 1, both types. Diabetes 2 is extremely common. There we go, boy. It's an epidemic. Diabetes 2 is an epidemic. In the United States, again, that's where I live, in the US. In other places too, where lots of people are overweight. 4/5 of Americans are officially and dangerously overweight. Many of them have diabetes type 2. Remember, it's not diabetes, it's not a disease, it's diabetes type 2. I say that it's very special because type 2 is completely curable, just like type 1 adult onset. Completely curable. They have to eat less and move more, because what's happening is their bodies are so stuffed with food that their cells just can't take any more insulin. It's just like, I can't take it anymore. I'm suffocating. You're suffocating me. I'm choking. And so it develops this, I don't want any more insulin or food. No more insulin or food. Insulin and food become poison for this person. Yeah. Well, how are they going to get nutrition to the cells? How are they going to stay alive? The way you maintain diabetes type 2 without insulin shots, because doctors do that too. Oh, here, more insulin, more insulin, more insulin, until they die, is by exercising. Any kind of exercising, especially strenuous, because again, that muscle pumping action forces blood sugar into the cells without insulin. That's right, without the pancreas. You gotta let the cells normalize before you can start eating normal again. And that means call off the food. Call off the food. Move food over to off center stage over to the sidelines, which means they have to undereat. They have to eat fewer calories than they're burning. Fewer calories than they're burning. That's right. And they have to move. They have to move strenuously every day. Now, that's how people cure themselves of diabetes type 2, and it happens all the time. I know lots and lots of people, and I've helped lots of people cure themselves of diabetes type 2. Don't let anybody tell you that it's incurable or that you have to take insulin. It's poison. Except for diabetes 1 juvenile onset, it's poison. So, and by doing that, of course, you're going to lose weight. I mean, if you have diabetes type 2, you have to get lean, because lean means clean. And a lean person loves insulin and food. Yeah. Hunger way up, appetite way up, and lean. So, I'll get you there. Contact me. Let's see what we can do. This is Dr. Doug with Body Trust. Do not forget to subscribe. See you next time.